Open registration starts tomorrow. Why do you do the open?
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
It's lunchtime. What is going on, everybody? Yeah, on this channel, we yabba dabba do. We don't yabba dabba don't.
That is correct.
Just saying. What is going on? We got the cowboy in the house today. Giddy up.
Giddy up. What's up, y'all?
Joseph Ramirez yelling out lunchtime. I have to say, I caught Joseph in a behind-the-scenes video. Episode 3. Now that I've met Joseph and I know who he is,
it helps.
I'm hanging out at the arena talking to some people down on the floor, and he was captured in the behind-the-scenes video.
By capture, we mean on video.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not talking about ice or anything like that on this show, but
No.
But yeah, Joseph got some camera time.
Good deal.
He was wearing a Dave Castro shirt. The person he was with was wearing a CEO shirt, and then Sevon and Dave. I think Dave was more saying like one of them has good taste, one of them not so much. Joseph says he wasn't doing anything illegal, I hope.
I also hope you weren't doing anything illegal.
He also says, before I start, I want to say the Steelers suck and Tomlin needs to go now. Why you got to start me off on a riff? Like, I am not a Steeler fan. My wife is, my family are, like everybody around me are Steeler fans. They're the most spoiled group of fans I've ever seen in my life. They have not had a losing season since like 2002, something like that. They've won 6 Super Bowls. They are in the playoffs all the time. You and I root for teams that don't see that kind of success ever, right? And they're so spoiled that, like, let's fire the coach that actually gets more out of our players than they should be putting out there. But it's not good enough for us, the Pittsburghers, the Yinzers, all of that. Let's fire them.
Try being a Saints fan. Try being a Saints fan for most of your life, and tell me how that, like, and then report back later on, like through the paper bag years, whenever people would show up to games wearing a paper bag on their head because they didn't want to be seen actually being there trying to support the team. Try that out. Let me know how that works out.
Yeah, Bears and Saints fans each have a Super Bowl each. Uno. We've had some really shitty seasons around all that. Bengals fans too, but they don't even have one, so we can't lump Andrew in with us because they have a big goose egg. They've been to 3. They just lost them all. But yeah, Steelers fans are spoiled. They spoiled with all the success they've had. Crazy. Larry Young says, how about them Texans? That defense is legit. They put on a show last night.
Never should have went to Tennessee. They should still be the Houston Oilers.
So not having a losing season doesn't mean you're doing anything. Mediocre at best for a while now. Yeah, but if you look at the analytics, Mike Tomlin's wins over expectation are in the positive every single year. Every single year.
Dude, we'd have taken Mike Tomlin.
Right. It's not Mike Tomlin. It's the people getting the talent. They haven't had a quarterback. You can't keep like putting Duck Hodges out there and Mason Rudolph and a 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers and think you're going to win games in the playoffs. You're just not.
I'll put it like this. I don't even know who those other two guys you said are. I know who Aaron Rodgers is.
Exactly. Yeah. If you would have got Aaron Rodgers in 2017, you'd have a shot.
Yeah.
But when he has his blocker out and you have to avoid that from the center so he can get back into position.
Like, I feel like you made the first two names up because I was like, Duck Dodgers in the 25th and a half century from Looney Tunes back in the day is the first thing I whenever you said that.
So what Duck Hodges is most famous for now is he is married to Lainey Wilson.
Oh, Louisiana girl. Good for him.
Yeah. So he got a little bit of playing time 1 year in the NFL, and I think he makes duck calls. So that's the name, Duck Hodges.
Got it.
Yeah. Joseph, you always derail the show, man. I just need someone to blame. Actually, every time Cory's on, we derail, and that's kind of the plan. So I just need someone in the chat to blame.
Not a big deal.
Sorry. Okay. We got a little bit of things to talk about today. Let's talk about Hiller's video on Achilles injuries. And the reason I want to bring this up is it came out as members only late Sunday night, right before we went on the air. And I speculated why we have all the Achilles tears. And I said it was performance enhancing drugs.
All right.
I've actually thought that for more than a decade, that by using the performance enhancing drugs, we're growing the muscles bigger than the tendons and ligaments can support.
Got it.
They just weren't meant to do that, right?
Right. Solid theory.
Hiller's video had nothing to do with PEDs for a change.
Not even a little bit.
It was not a natty or not. It was none of that stuff. It was more about the overcompensation and imbalances that people have in their body, and how, if not corrected, it puts you in a position where you're using the muscles and the tendons and the ligaments in ways that they weren't meant to be used. And then because of that, the ligaments and tendons give out.
For the people out there listening, if you have not watched it yet, I highly recommend taking the time and going to sit down and watch it, because first of all, it's a really well put together video. Shout out to Hiller. And secondly, like, holy smokes, you pick up a whole lot of information that you did not have before regarding injuries in general, not necessarily just Achilles, but just the stuff that dude was saying, like you said, about overcompensating from one spot to another and being able to look at somebody and look at their calves and look how they're moving. Whenever Bill was in the pool and he was watching, he's like, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, every single time on every single stroke. And it's because people are probably naturally unbalanced, but you have to take work to be able to get everything moving like it should. And then once it's there, you're good. Like, you're going to move a whole lot faster. You're going to be able to pick stuff up, put it down a whole lot faster, probably lift heavier, like all the good stuff. But most people just ignore it.
Yeah, I think that's my whole life. Coaches, from like my swimming days, my football days, my lifting days, to even more recently CrossFit days, every coach that I've had has been, if you're doing something on the left, make sure you do it equal amounts on the right so that you are balanced, right? And that's the simplest way to look at things. But what kind of blew me away in this video was that Bill was overcompensating before the injury.
Right.
Like, he went back and looked at film and footage of Bill doing workouts and then noticed he had been overcompensating for years before the Achilles tear. And then he strongly believes that is what's caused the Achilles tear. And now they've got to correct those movement patterns to prevent it from happening again.
Which is not an easy thing to do.
No. No. Especially after years of doing it one way, trying to teach yourself. So that actually gives me a better understanding of why Bill may not have performed as well at the games this year, because not only is he coming back from an Achilles tear, but he's relearning all these movements. And just like anything, if you watch a football game, when you're new to an offense, you have to think too much and you're slower.
Yep.
Right.
What am I
You've got
supposed to be
get to
doing?
a point where the thought process leaves and you just do. But he can't do that until he corrects these movements.
Yeah. Knowing Bill, he works incredibly hard, and he is really actually pretty darn smart in and of itself. So he's probably taking it to heart like a whole lot more, because I'm sure he does not want that to happen again. And we're really focusing, really super laser focused in on, like, we're not going to let this happen again. Trusting this dude. He's going to get me straight to where when I go back, I can be not just at the games, but be competitive at the games and try to get himself up into that position he wants to be in. The sign on his wall is still there. CrossFit Games champion. Like that's his ultimate goal. Always has been. So
if you didn't watch the video, the one example the doctor of chiropractic used, he's more than that. I hate calling him a chiropractor because he's not just cracking Bill's back. He's actually like doing analysis and like body movement and loosening up and like he does a lot of body work. But he said that like when he squats, his one foot would drop.
Yeah.
Every time he would get to the bottom of a squat, and it would create an imbalance, and they had to get that corrected. And that, I mean, squat is like the most foundational movement in CrossFit. And if that's off, everything else is
off. So that was hilarious to me because Hiller looked at him and said, so he was squatting 490 on one leg. He was like, yeah, essentially, which is terrifying if you think about it. Like he's strong enough that one side is basically holding him up enough, right? I mean, both sides are working, but one side's working way harder to squat damn near 500 pounds on one side. It's wild.
Chattanooga says the 49ers should hire that guy. If you don't follow football, the 49ers have had a ton of injuries this year, just a ton. And a lot of them are soft tissue or ligament or right. So now in football, you are forced by another large human being to be in positions that you can't control.
Violently.
Yes. Yes. Shanna, amazing how the body can compensate. It is.
It's one of the things he was saying. Like if you teach it long enough that this is what we're doing, then the body just goes, oh, okay, cool. That is what we're doing. Doesn't matter if it's awkward or if it's whatever the case may be. It's like a habit is a habit. It just becomes what's normal at that point.
Right. But if you put a smaller tire on one of your four wheels of your car, it'll still run and it'll still steer, but eventually it's going to jack things up.
Yeah. Sooner or later, you're going to have a crash.
Yeah. And parts are going to
wheel will fall off.
Yeah. Yeah. Great video. And it really thought provoking. I love when people make me think. And because when I was swimming competitively a lot, you know, and I swam distance, we were trained to breathe on the opposite side, like every third stroke. So, you know, breathe left, 3 strokes, breathe right. And because that actually keeps your body more balanced, right? Because you're not, if you breathe to one side too much, you start to limp in the water is what we would call it. And because of that, it gets hairy.
That's the case. I limp every single time I swim because I only breathe out of one side for most of all intents and purposes.
CJ, I know cars can't compensate. I was just trying to have a fun analogy to the process. So yeah, so that's that. Before I get too far into this, you know what makes me feel like this?
Where is my super suit?
Thirdzy.
Thirdzy, baby.
When I take my Thirdzy, I wake up feeling like Frozone. My super suit is on. I can attack the day. I can do the stuff. And you can get yours at thirdzy.com/Jazzy. Or go to thirdzy.com and type in the promo code Jazzy, get 15% off at checkout. I did find out that they are now out of the salted caramel, and it was a limited release.
Oh no.
They are out of the salted caramel.
Well, that's news.
Yeah.
Oh,
So right now it's just strawberry lemonade. We'll have to see if they come out with some new flavors. I know they do that periodically.
I probably got 20 servings left of my second bag of salted caramel. Well, damn. That's sad news.
So yeah, it works, man. And to me,
I gotta say this.
I can do a shot of flavor of anything if it's going to help me sleep. So I'm cool with that.
If I pay attention, like last night is a perfect example. Drank it, we put Jameson in the bed, we sat on the couch for a couple minutes watching TV or whatnot. And as soon as I find myself like doing that on the couch, just kind of drooping off or whatnot, get up and go to bed, dude. I had incredible sleep last night.
Andrew Sten says Thirdzy gives me wild dreams. Your REM sleep gets better, and then you're sleeping deeper, so you get like those wild dreams. It's actually kind of cool. It's very vivid. Like I wake up remembering.
Yeah, I've had some bananas one. Oh yeah, I know, CJ. Bad on TV.
Vicky says it's a sad day for Cory.
I really do like that salted caramel.
I do too.
It's really
I
good.
love like heating it up, a little bit of milk. Yeah.
It's super good.
So, but make sure you check that out, thirdzy.com/Jazzy. So with that, the open registration is tomorrow.
Let's go.
When was your first open?
My first open was in 2019. The year we
Why
had
did-
two
why did
opens.
you do it?
Honestly, because everybody else at the gym was doing it, and once I found out what it was, I wanted to participate because I wanted to test myself against everybody else that was doing it and see where I stacked up. Probably was wildly overconfident at the time, if I had to guess. Like, oh yeah, this is going to be fantastic, and then it's a gut check whenever you actually see it and go, oh, okay. Thankfully, I had Bernard Wagspack there to kind of say, hey, you're a master's athlete. These are the people you need to actually be comparing yourself to, not the rest of these people out here, and kind of get me steered back on track to, realize I'm competitive and I should absolutely.
Was that a polite way to say you're just old, Cory?
And I mean, you can call it what you want. I'll say this, dude. With this, and it's another piece of wisdom from Mr. Wagspack. There was me and we had a partner workout on a Thursday night. I'll never forget this. And it had two young kids, and by young kids I mean like 19, 20 years old, super fit, right? And they beat us by like, I don't know, 5 reps at the end of it between me and my other friend Aaron. And Bernard said, yeah, but he said, if they beat y'all, they beat 2 old guys. And if they lost to y'all, then they lost to 2 old guys. It's like, you really can't lose when it comes to like that kind of stuff in a master's, being a master's athlete. Big fan.
My first one was 2013. I've only missed one open since. And I did it because I had 2 friends that we hung out all the time, still do today. and they said, "Hey, let's try it." And they were fitter than I was. I was stronger than them, but they were fitter than me. And I just came off like a 200-pound weight loss, and my confidence was not over like yours. Mine was way under. I didn't think I was going to, because back then there was no scaled, there was no foundations, there was no out. It was RX or nothing.
Right.
And it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. We were in the process of affiliation, but it hadn't gone through yet. So we had to videotape everything. The gym members would come in and they would set up the videos for us. They would do all the work for us. And then they would cheer us on afterwards. And then back in those days, they would roll in a cooler of beer for afterwards, and everybody would hang out. And that was the 5-week open, no scaled, no foundations, all RX. It was just a different world. And there are still videos out there of me attempting some of the movements that I didn't have in my tool belt at the time, for lengthy periods of time, attempting. But that's what's cool. That was what was cool about it. I didn't have those movements, but that forced me to try.
Yeah.
It forced me out of my comfort zone to get up on that pull-up bar and try a chest to bar or try a toes to bar. Those are two things I didn't have in that first open.
And then God help you if you got one, because I don't know about your gym, but like we had some people get one, not last year, but year before last. My buddy Ethan got his first chest to bar like during the open, and you would have thought somebody just won the lottery. I mean,
oh, I know,
screaming, yelling, and then he's still got time. Like, let's go. Like, let's get another one.
2, 3, and 4. Let's go.
Yeah. Like, we'll celebrate for 10 seconds, but
I've seen first bar muscle ups. I've seen first ring muscle ups. I've seen first double unders. I've seen all that kind of stuff. It is so awesome. One of the funniest stories is, so we had the rig with the top and the bottom bar, and I did a toes to the second bar, but I didn't get the one I was holding on to. And I lost my shit in the moment. And then the judge was like, "Sorry, no rep."
Yeah.
You can't just pick any bar on the rig to hit your toes to. It has to be the one you're actually holding on to.
Although, if Dave's listening, that wouldn't be the worst idea I've ever heard of. It'd be interesting to say the least.
Toes to the second bar?
Toes to the second bar, 100%. That's actually some grid league shit. Let's not actually do that. Let's move on. It's magic. It's the open magic, right? I got my first bar muscle up the day before we had it was the snatches and burpees, and then 3 minutes rest, and then snatches and bar muscle ups, or burpees and bar muscle ups. I got my first bar muscle up the day before that. You probably heard me scream from wherever you were, because I yelled like and then did the workout on Friday, did not get a single bar muscle up, redid it on Monday and got either 6 or 9, something like that. Like it's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. Again, everything, you just get forced outside your comfort zone, and that you need to do things that are uncomfortable sometimes. That's what makes you better in life. You don't avoid the uncomfortable, you embrace it and you attack it. And that's what the open gives us every single year.
Lean in.
You can complain about the simplicity of it, or that it's not what it used to be. It's still that thing that makes your heart race every night, every Thursday night or Thursday afternoon when they release the announcement. It's still that thing that you can't sleep the night before. You got to go into the gym and somehow try to perform it. And nothing else does that during the year. Everything else is just a workout. And one time a year, you need that thing that kicks you in the ass and says, you're going to be uncomfortable for 3 weeks. And if you're one of the 25% that are the best in the world, we're going to be uncomfortable another weekend of 4 events or 5 events. And there's a beauty to that. and no going in and going against your friend where nobody's really watching and you don't have to post a score or nothing else does that. It's during the open where all that happens.
Your average Thursday night 5:30 class is one thing, but the open score is forever.
It is.
Period. End of story.
And that's why you should sign up.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs to be uncomfortable periodically.
Everybody needs to be uncomfortable periodically. Everybody needs to participate on more than just I showed up for class level at their box, right? 90% of the time, people roll in Tuesday, did the workout, talked to some people, whatever, went on back to their house. If your gym is putting on some sort of Friday night lights, show up, be a part of it. It's fun. You're going to get to watch everybody else go. You're going to get to go. Maybe you'll be in the first heat. Maybe you'll be in the last heat. But you're still going to be people there screaming at you to go, pick up the bar, jump on the rig. Come on, let's move. Get up the entire time. That's how it is at my gym. Like I can't talk generally for all 3 weekends after Friday night lights. Like Saturday and Sunday, my voice is shot to shit because I'm screaming at everybody.
And you never know what's going to happen. One day I walked into CrossFit Polaris. I went to do the open workout that was deadlifts and burpees. What was that? 23, 24?
20.
Terrible.
Oh God, Lord. 23.2 maybe.
I go in, I'm minding my own business. I'm doing my deadlifts. I'm doing my burpees. I get up to do the next set of, and it was like, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
and then it went back down.
Yeah. To 10 and back down. And I go to I'm up in like that 10 range and my hands on my knees trying to catch my breath so I can do the deadlift. And Sam Briggs starts yelling at me. And I didn't even know she was there. And she's yelling in my face with the bars itself.
Why is this English chick yelling at me?
and if Sam Briggs yells in your face that you need to do something, you freaking pick up the bar.
You absolutely pick up the bar. I love that story.
And what was awesome is when it's all over and she's done yelling at me and I'm dead on the floor, she comes over and goes, I'd like to apologize. No, you're not apologizing. You knew what you were doing the whole damn time.
Fantastic.
It was my favorite thing to ever. I say favorite. The first year I did the open, and it was the first workout was burpees to 6 inches
Target.
and snatches, increasing weight. The fun that me and my buddies had that first open workout, trying to snatch weight we've never tried before. The night before, it was the worst English accent ever. You're right, Jody. I should be ashamed of myself. It was like half Indian, half Asian. I don't even know what I was doing. But the fun that me and my buddies had that first ever workout, even Sam Briggs yelling at me can't top that.
No. I clearly remember 19.1, dude. Rowing in balls. 19 calories on the rower, 19 more balls. Just on and on and on and on. After, I don't remember how many rounds it was, but at some point I got tunnel vision. And like your body's just in movement mode, right? So I couldn't see, I could hear the music. I could hear Sarah counting because she was judging me. And I could hear one person yelling at me. My buddy, oh, good Lord. Anyway, one person yelling at me. Out of all the other voices that were there, like his was the only one I could hear. And like I couldn't see anything else. When Cecil yelled time, I fell off the rower with like one foot still strapped into it and whatnot. And he was like, "Stop being dramatic." And I was like, "I'm not being dramatic, dog. I'm about to die." Like this is not good.
John George, that was a brutal one. I was catching 135 snatches on my knees. They counted. Back in those days, the knee catching on the knee counted if you could stand it up.
Yeah. Counts in CrossFit.
Not anymore, but it did for a brief brief time until like the 2014 games, 2015 games. Lauren Brooks famously caught the snatch on her knee and stood it up, and then after that, they outlawed it.
Yeah, they went ahead and took that one.
Is it toe to bar or toes to bar? Well, if you're Dave Castro, it's toe to bar.
I'm going to default to Dave.
But I have 10 of them, so I'm going to say it's and you can't just hit one toe to the bar because you have to hit with both feet simultaneously. So you have to at least hit with two. So then it would be toes to bar.
I generally hit with two. My two big toes is what normally makes contact with the bar. I don't think I've ever hit my pinky on the my pinky toe on the bar while doing toe to bar.
I'm one of those people where the second toe is bigger than my big toe.
Yeah, I don't have that problem. Yeah. Toes or laces? What are we talking about?
So when you hit the bar, do you actually hit with your toes or the laces of your shoe?
It depends on my level of fatigue.
True that.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It really depends on my level of fatigue. Straight up.
Yeah. So I have a meeting at 1:00, so I'm gonna have to pick up the pace a little bit here. Scott, did you know about that overhead squat standard that Seth Jumpship posted about? I was convinced you could do them with bent elbows. I didn't see Seth's video.
He put up a picture of somebody doing overhead squats and was like, "Do these count?" It's just like, you know, like 5 of them or something like that. And the dude's arms were like this the whole time. So like I voted. It's like none of them count because you need to be here, not there.
And Andrew Stenick can correct me if I'm wrong. What I've always been taught in judging standard is as long as the bar does not touch the top of the head or fall below the top of the head, it is a good rep. But again, it's going to depend on the standard of that competition and the standard that your gym holds you to. Right. So like, right, there's Andrew. It depends on the standard given by the competition. Yeah, a lot of standards did not even address the elbows. It is the bar remaining above the head through the squat. But if you're squatting heavy weight overhead and you have bent elbows, your chances of success are very low.
Slim to none, I would say.
Yeah, Anderson, I agree with Scott. If it's above the head, it counts. It's just harder if your arms are bent. Yeah.
I can't imagine trying to overhead squat like this. Like this is not a.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right, couple quick hit notes. Seher Kaya decided to retire.
Saw that.
You're competing competitively. Great athlete, actually brought attention to the Asian women, where she actually could compete with the games athletes, and gave her and Shungyong Choi gave Asia actually credibility as a region for that. In addition to that, Velites, I think is how it's pronounced, is coming back as the sponsor or the apparel sponsor of the CrossFit Games. And it looks like grips and apparel.
Oh, I never used their grips. I know some people that have their apparel from the games actually seem to be pretty nice. Like we were talking about before we went online, the only thing I would request is more color. Mr. Velites, man, if you are watching this today, give us some bright colors. Give us some bright colors. Bring back 2012.
It is a rope sponsor too. The reel keeps running on my other screen. It is rope as well. So it looks like it's apparel, grips, and ropes.
I actually have one of their ropes. I have a heavy rope from them that I bought from Monster Games. It spins pretty well, but all I have is the heavy rope for it and the heavy handles, so I don't use it that often. But it seems like it works pretty well.
Ask Colton Mertens what he thinks of their ropes.
Oh, thank you. I'm not trying to fight the hog farm.
Hope Velites has improved their bras.
So do I, Lito. Honestly, the one I got is not super supportive at all.
Yeah. I was telling Cory before we came on the air that at least Velites does have some color. Last year they had some blues, they had some maroons, and it actually allowed me. I'm still editing the Hattie documentary. I was just doing some this weekend, and because of the different colors and the switches up, I've been able to tell what video was from what event that she participated in. So more colors, more better for film editing, just to say. And I am trying to get that out just as a big announcement before the Open. I want to release it like right before the Open. And it's almost done. I'm just putting some finishing touches on it right now.
Roger that. Oh,
I got some Velites ropes, and they're very lightweight and spin well, but they do break frequently. Yeah. Ask Colton Mertens. And I'm with Andrew and Mark Phillips. I love the Reebok colors. I miss the Reebok colors. When I see the old footage, it was so easy to tell who your favorite CrossFitters were because they would pick a color combination and you just knew what to look for on the floor. I miss it, not just from like a style standpoint, but from an ease of telling who is who.
Yeah. It gave her, and the options that those guys had back then allowed them to like customize what they looked like every day, and nobody looked the same. It wasn't 4 people in maroon shirts doing one workout.
I thought Cory might not want the bras fixed, to be honest.
I want my bra fixed. Just saying, Lito.
All right. So last thing I wanted to talk about, and I only have about 4 minutes. So partnerships, CrossFit. This is probably a longer discussion. We'll probably bring it back tomorrow. They have announced a partnership with Coaches Congress.
Saw that.
And this is now in addition to other partnerships like Wadapalooza, doing the open announcement at Wadapalooza. This is doing things like having Pitt and Legends and Wheel Wad run aspects of the CrossFit Games. What I want to talk about tomorrow is this a good direction that CrossFit is going by increasing the partnerships? Forever, CrossFit was a one entity show. They ran it all from media to how the games ran at every level, every aspect. And now they're really embracing this partnership thing. Is this the way to go? And again, we can expand on this tomorrow, but just initial thought.
Initial thought was it right off the bat is when Greg was running the show back in the old days and he didn't know something, he went and found an expert, a subject matter expert to bring in and teach it to people, teach it to him and teach it to other people and teach him how to teach other people. So if this is what the kind of stuff that they're doing, then good. Because I've never heard anything bad about Coaches Congress. Like people that went got nothing but good stuff off of it. So if this is the kind of path that they're taking, like, hey, I'm going to partner up with these guys because the resources that they have are going to be beneficial for everybody who is in an affiliate, everybody who's running an affiliate, everybody's coaching an affiliate, then yes, outstanding. Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, we'll talk about this tomorrow for sure. We got a couple hated the beige games. Shanna hated the Noble colors same year after year. But then we have Catherine McGee as a designer. I'm in the minority in terms of liking the more neutral color schemes. Noble was definitely more modern in terms of that aesthetic, but I think Velites struck a good balance. So
I hear you, Kate.
I didn't mind Velites. I did not like Goruck and I did not like Noble, but I did like the Velites. I thought the fits weren't as good as some of the other apparel brands. Like you could see people like tugging at their clothes a lot more.
Yeah. Adjusting stuff.
Yeah. So I think if they could fit, and maybe that's what Lito's talking about the sports bra. I don't know how long they've been in the game with all this stuff. Maybe if they can get a better fit. I don't know. Yeah. Joseph is still waiting on his Noble jersey.
You and everybody else, Joseph.
I still don't understand the complexity of that. How that is so hard. It's the same template. You're just changing the name.
At Monster Games, they literally put our names on our shirts at the venue. Like, oh, you got a shirt? Cool. Here's your thing with your name on it. Where do you want it? Front or back? Back. Okay, cool. Boom. Heat press. Here's your shirt. Going about your day.
Catherine McGee completely forgot about Go Ruck, aka Forgettable. Yeah, it was semi-noble with camo thrown in.
That's probably the most apt description I've ever heard of the Go Ruck uniform.
And the fonts weren't even as cool. I mean, a lot of Masters Games athletes are still waiting on their Yeti bottles.
Oh, damn.
Don't get me started with Yeti. All right, I got to go. And when it comes to like these people and whether they're going to fulfill their promises.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Exactly. Ain't going to fall for no banana in the tailpipe.
No, I will not.
With that, we'll be back tomorrow. Cowboy, you here tomorrow?
I am.
All right. We will see you all then. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.